Yo, what's up? Ricky Sanders here. If you live for fast cars, greasy hands, and solving problems under the hood, welcome to your new favourite spot. I'm all about real fixes, no BS, and showing you how to keep your ride running like a champ. So go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's make some noise in the garage. Enough talk, let's get
Any
wrenching.
car owner, regardless of driving experience, has heard such an expression as knocking fingers. Despite the fact that the phrase is quite common, has not quite an accurate interpretation. In modern cars, the characteristic sound is issued not by piston fingers. The driver and his passengers catch the sound vibration from the shock wave formed by the explosion of fuel-air composition directly in the combustion chamber. In cars of the grandmother's model year, it was the piston pins that could knock. Low wear resistance, strength of metal parts, exposure to high temperatures and significant loads of the piston pin seat contributed to the formation of various gaps that caused the characteristic sound. Modern automobile industry uses only steel of proper quality, applies high-precision techniques for processing each part, so damage and the appearance of any defects of the pins themselves is virtually eliminated. Nevertheless, the term knocking fingers has not disappeared from the professional lexicon of car owners. Detonation combustion occurs in a completely different way. The entire volume of the fuel-air mixture explodes simultaneously, sharply, provoking a significant increase in the pressure index and temperature of the cylinders themselves. Under such conditions, chemical active compounds are formed in the places of the highest concentration of unburned fuel. When critical values are reached, chain chemical reactions occur, promoting explosive-type ignition. The resulting wave, moving fast enough, hits the chamber walls and cylinder surfaces hard, and new points of spontaneous combustion are organized at the same time. The result is numerous oscillatory phenomena that provoke vibrations of the power unit. This phenomenon is detonation, which becomes the root cause of why the fingers knock in the engine. Can arise for various reasons. The most common are fuel composition. If air and fuel are in the proportion of 9:0, then violate the average, then in the case of penetration into the chamber with increased temperature and pressure in remote areas are formed various reactions of oxidative type, which are the primary source of the process of self-ignition, that is, detonation. The value of the ignition advance angle. An increase in this indicator provokes a shift in the maximum pressure peak, which becomes a factor in the occurrence of detonation processes. The octane rating of the fuel mixture. The lower this indicator, the greater the probability of detonation. A decrease in this criterion leads to an increase in the chemical activity of the fuel to the oxidation process. Therefore, car owners using 76th gasoline much more often note the knocking of piston pins than drivers pouring 92nd gasoline into the tank. Compression ratio. An indicator that characterizes the ratio of the volume of one cylinder to the total volume of the combustion chamber. Its increase leads to the fact that the pressure and temperature invariably begin to increase, which means that the risk of detonation increases. Therefore, if a power unit with a sufficiently large compression ratio is installed, the car owner is recommended to use highly ethylated gasoline. Calor ignition, causing combustion of a spontaneous nature of the fuel mixture in the cylinders. It occurs due to the presence of burning soot or high temperature in the chamber. It is equally important to competently select the type of spark plug. Distinguish between cold, warm, and medium candle, characterized by a different caliber. This is necessary in order not to cause a fire in case of overheating of the insulator of the spark plug's center electrode. Increased load on the motor. If the driver will make attempts every time to start, for example, from the third gear, then at some point he will invariably hear the fingers of his engine knocking. Negative consequences of detonation among car owners is a very common misconception that the increase in the pressure index due to the increase in speed is positively reflected in the increase in engine power. But the situation is just the opposite. the time duration of the blast wave is very small, 0.0001 s. The same time is given to increase the pressure on the pistons. Consequently, they in no way for such a small amount of time cannot affect the power of the engine. But it is quite likely to cause significant damage to various assemblies and parts. When the blast wave hits the cylinder walls with tremendous force, it significantly destroys the oil film. This film protects the parts of the CPG not only from direct friction, but also from corrosive effects, so its destruction will inevitably lead to partial mechanical wear and damage to parts. In addition, when the shock wave is formed, the heat output from the burned gas starts to increase sharply to the cylinder walls, which causes overheating of the internal combustion engine. This, in turn, will affect the condition and performance characteristics of gaskets, seals, spark plugs, pistons, etc. Ways to eliminate detonation. In conclusion, understanding why fingers knock in the engine is crucial for maintaining your vehicle's performance and longevity. As we've discussed, the primary causes can range from insufficient lubrication and worn components to improper timing and fuel quality. Addressing these issues promptly can prevent further damage and costly repairs. Regular maintenance, using high-quality oil, and ensuring proper engine tuning are effective ways to eliminate knocking sounds. By staying proactive and informed, you can keep your engine running smoothly and enjoy a more reliable driving experience. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more automotive insights.